Peace, family. Peace. Just checking on a few things here. All right. Hope everyone is doing well today. Yes. We are going to talk about some tree magic today. Peace to everybody in here. Peace to everybody coming in. Let's see here. Yin Sun. Look like you the first one in here. Peace. Sharon Cooper. Ayatna. Atiana. Excuse me if I'm saying your name wrong. N47. Shout out to you. Titus the Titan. Coco and Dre. Body Spiritual. Super. Peace to everybody who's in the chat. Peace, 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 family. So, today, family, we're going to talk about tree magic. Okay? We're going to talk about tree magic, family. And this is a request this is something that has been requested a lot. I'm going to give you guys, I'm going to take you guys on a, little by little. I'm not one of them people that like to give you everything at one time. So we'll call this like a 101, tree magic 101. Even though I did one on YouTube, this is going to be more advanced. Okay? This is going to have more information. Okay? And y'all know I don't do videos without giving y'all some type of, some tools, some actual tools to have. Okay? So let me know if you guys can hear me clearly. And we will begin. All right. Okay, I'll answer this question. Someone said, first question, can we use a tree in our yard? Can we use a tree in the park? Okay, you can hear me. Okay, great. So I recommend these trees. You can do these in your house. Do like a small plant in your house, right? That's one way to do it. Or you can use a plant in your yard. Now, I want to be clear. You want to make sure that this is a property you own, right? So you and your family are going to be in this house for a long time, or in this place for a long time. So you can always go to this tree, and your children can go to this tree. Your grandchildren, your great great grandchildren, great great grandchildren, great 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 grandchildren can go to this tree. All right. If not, then I recommend you doing this in your house in a small pot. Okay, you can actually do this with a small plant, a plant that will eventually grow. So you can buy these trees really small as small plants, and then eventually they grow. You set them outside. All right, and then eventually you'll have to plant it. But you can do also a money plant. You don't have to be doing a money tree. I would recommend you doing a money tree because it'll be more powerful. But money plants are powerful as well. Okay, money plants are powerful as well. So once again, I recommend you guys doing this outside in your yard, but you can also do this in your house in a small house plant. Okay, and we'll get into what are you going to do and how are you going to use it, and then I'm gonna give you guys some tools you can have to do with some tree magic. Okay, so as you guys know, I'm going to be moving very soon, so I've been very busy, but this is a video I had to do. I had to give you guys this information, um, and I thank you guys for your patience with me, because you guys ask me a lot of questions, and sometimes it takes a minute to get back to you guys on certain things. So thank you guys for being patient with me. Okay, I try to do what I can. Um, so let me explain real quick, family, what tree magic really is. Tree magic is simply learning how to use trees for your magic. Okay, using whether it's the tree leaves, the tree bark, using the root of the tree. You can also call this plant magic. Plant magic is another form of tree magic. They're pretty much the same thing. Trees are just bigger, right? They're more powerful because they're bigger. Okay, so you can do this. What I'm telling you to do with small plants, you can also do this with trees. It kind of works the same way. All right, except trees once again are more powerful because they're bigger. and they have stronger roots. You know what I mean? So they carry more power. All right. So that's what tree magic is. I just wanted to explain that to you guys. And there's different types of tree magic. You can pretty go buy a book on tree magic. You're gonna get some basic stuff, some pretty good stuff, and then there's more advanced information when it comes to tree magic. But before we get deeper into tree magic, which is going to be the tools I'm going to give you guys to help you guys understand what some trees can be used for. Okay. Uh-oh. Let me make sure my stuff ain't gonna die here. Boom. Okay. So that's what we're gonna do, family. All right. So we're gonna go into this. We're gonna give you guys this information. So you guys got this information. All right. So let's talk about the money tree first. All right. Let's talk about the money tree first. So a money tree, family, is something that you can use that can grow your wealth body. It can grow your wealth body. Okay. It can also grow your wealth. There's different ways to do money trees. The Asians have a way of doing a money tree. The Europeans have a way of doing money trees. And the Africans have ways of doing money trees, right? Native Americans actually have trees, money trees. And everybody has, it's kind of similar, but everybody has a different way to do it. So I'm going to give you guys the way that I do money trees, right? Or money plants, right? Once again, you can do these in your house, right? So, and I'm going to give you guys that information. All right, I'm going to give you guys that information so you can have it. Okay. So the first thing I want you guys to do is to get any size silk bag. Okay. I want you guys to buy. It doesn't matter the color, right? It could be a big silk bag. You don't go and get it too big. It depends on what you're trying to do. If you're going to plant this outside, you can get a big bag. If you're going to plant it on a small level, you can get a small bag. Right, if you're gonna do a house plant, you can get a small little bag, right? If you're gonna do an outside plant, you can get a bigger silk bag. If you can't find a silk bag, then go to the arts and crafts store and get some cloth, some silk cloth. I would recommend green or white, right? But I've seen people be successful just using red and purple, and but I like green or white color. And I want you to get a silk bag or pouch. And I want you, the first thing to do is to put some of your fingernails and some of your hair into it. Doesn't need to be a lot. Just a couple fingernails and some hair. Okay? Then I want you to take as much change, loose change you can find. I want you to fill this bag with pennies, dimes, quarters, and nickels. We talking about real money. Don't put no fiat currency in there. We don't want to put any type of dollar bills or paper money in there. None of it. Okay? Doesn't matter what country you live in, as long as you're using the metal money, which is real currency, right? That change is actually worth more than $100 bill. It's hard to believe that because you give value to money by you believing that $100 bill is worth money, right? But when it comes to metal and copper and gold and stuff, you can't deny what it's worth. It is worth money. All right? So we want to use real money here by using a way of copper. You can put some copper in there. You can put some copper, pennies, dimes, nickels, and quarters. Okay. Now, if you want to give it an extra boost, get you a silver dollar, which is, I'm talking about 99.9 silver. I just got some in, so I'll show it to y'all. All right. Right. You want to get some real silver. Yeah, this is sacrifice. It's going to cost you a little something. So these are about, right now, they're running for about $25, I think, silver. Right? When inflation goes bad, when the country goes bad, silver and gold goes up. So, I think you can get these for like $20, $25 right now. Get you a silver 1 ounce coin and throw that in the bag as well. Silver and gold is the money of God. Never forget that. Silver and gold is the money of God. Yeah, there's so many different trees we could talk about, but we're going to focus on a few trees that I think is really important tonight. Okay, now, what type of plant should you use to get this going? Well, we'll get to that in a second. So, silver, and get all the loose change you can and fill that bag up, family. Fill the bag up, tie it up, fill it up, And what you're gonna do is this is gonna go under the tree, okay? So of course, if you're gonna use a pot, you want to put your dirt in the bottom of the pot, put the change down there, and then you want to fill the dirt up and put the plant of your choosing. It could be any plant you want, but you want to get a plant that's actually gonna grow strong, a plant that's known to be positive, right? What's a good plant? A bamboo plant works, but at the same time, you can get you like a spider plant, right? Spider plants are good also for cleaning the air in your house. You want to get you a, something that's going to grow strong, right? See, the ones that I have, family, are outside, so I don't use them as plants. But I know other people that use any plant they want. You can use different types of trees, willow trees, pine trees, oak trees, right? Um, Different types of trees, family. And I would recommend an oak tree. If you're gonna do outside, I recommend finding a small oak tree and planting an oak tree. Right, go somewhere, buy you an oak tree, small oak tree, or a pine tree, or an elm tree, and I want you to one of those three trees. I don't recommend any other plant tree for this, but some people use willow trees, right? Willow trees. Like I said, there's different ways to do it, right? So I want you to that bag is full now of change and a silver coin. Hopefully you put the silver dollar in there. If not, it's okay. Fill that up. Got your fingernails in your hair. I want you to hold that bag and pray the miracle prayer, what we call the anabacoic. Some of y'all been watching me for a long time. Y'all should know what that is by now. All right. The anabacoic prayer, if you can't pray it out of your mouth, let it play over the money. Just one time, just let it play over the money. And boom, you're good, right? So now you're going to fill up your pot. I'll talk about the plants first, all right? You're going to fill up your pot. You're going to put that money bag at the bottom, and you're going to put the plant on top and just fill up the dirt around it, okay? Once you do that, you're going to get a glass of water. Once you potted the plant and put the money at the bottom, you're going to get now the roots are going to grow all around the plant. And the tree is literally going to become a money tree. The energy of money is going to feed the tree, right? Now, to make it more powerful, I want you to take a glass of water. When you water it, I want you to use the anabacoic. Once again, the Hebrew anabacoic prayer, right? Y'all been watching me for a long time. Y'all should know what that is. I want y'all to use the Hebrew anabacoic prayer, and I want you guys to pray it over the water, and then I want you to water the plant. Okay? Peace from the UK. Peace. Peace to the UK, family. And this works in any country. It doesn't matter where you live at. Get some change where you live at. Some of you guys have to go back and watch it if you missed it. But that's what I want you guys to do, okay? That's for the plant. Now, if you're outside, I want you to take the bag of money that you have. I want you to put it in the bottom of the hole before you actually set up the tree. And I want you to put the dirt all around the tree. And this bag is at the bottom of the tree. And you're going to put the dirt, and you're also going to pray the anabacoic over the glass of water, or pray it as you're watering the holes. Let it play. Like I said, you can pray it yourself, or you can let it play. I recommend you're going to get a big watering pitcher and water the small tree, okay, yourself. That way you can pray it over the water the small tree, or sit it next to the speaker, let it play a couple times, the anabacoic, and then water the tree. I recommend you doing this every time. Okay, we could talk about tree deities, family, in the next one. We could definitely talk about tree deities. All right, but I want to give you guys the basics of tree magic so you guys can understand. But first, we're going to talk about this money tree. So now the tree is planted. So every time you water the plant, you must pray this prayer over the plant. Okay, so you have the plant in your house. I described to you how to do that. And you have the one outside. I described to you how to do that. All right. The biggest, most important thing is that bag of money, of loose change with a silver coin inside. Doesn't matter. It can even be a small coin like this, family. All right. This right here is a dime. This is a silver dime. So this is not a actual dime that you can spend in the store. This is actual silver, 99.9% silver dime. Okay, so this is a silver Indian head. All right. You can even use something that small, as long as it's silver. Silver is currency. Okay. Has that magical current to it. It's the money of God, silver and gold, money of God. All right. So you can do that, family. Okay. You can do that. Plant that tree. Okay. Plant that plant in your house. And then every time you water, you're going to use that miracle bread. Now, how else can we use this thing to... Now, it's going to start bringing wealth into us and growing our wealth body as we build the street. Now, what you can do when you need something financially, you can actually meditate, go into meditation, take a few deep breaths, imagine the tree or the plant that you planted. Pray and ask the tree. Now, we're not talking about worship, right? Prayer is not worship. Prayer is a request. It's a definition. We get it mixed up when we talk about prayer. We think it's begging. We think it's worshiping. It's not. It is using a higher force, asking a higher force for assistance. Nothing wrong with that. We ask our cousin for money. We ask our mama for money, right? Can I hold $30 to the end of the week? Can I hold $100 to the end of the week? You're praying. You're requesting something, right? But when you're doing it with a divine force, then it's the same thing, family. All right. So we're asking the power of the tree that we created for our benefit to bless us with finances, bless our finances. Now, to turn it up another level, you can actually take this tree and you can actually, put it on your altar with Lord Ganesha or Lakshmi, right? Put your money tree on these altars with these deities. And you can ask these deities for help as well. Okay? That's what you can do, family. All right? Now, if you're smart, if you have a magical mind and you think like Brother Yosef, you probably could find you a divine tree. I don't know, something like a healing tree. That would be very good for healing your money, for healing karma when it comes to karmic money problems, right? You might want to get you a Pau Diarco tree. You might want to find you a Pau Diarco plant if you can find it, or some seeds, and try to grow you a Pau Diarco tree. Good luck. You know what I'm saying? You can look up money trees, right? Y'all know how Brother Yos do. I like to tell y'all everything. I like y'all to research a little bit. But I'm just giving y'all something to think about how deep you could take this thing. There are literally trees for money. Or I don't want to say for money, but trees that we call trees that can help financially. Healing trees are good for that. Any tree that deals with healing is great for finances. That's why I told you outside, if you're going to use a tree, use an oak tree. Oak trees are great for healing. Also, you're going to have this big, humongous, powerful tree that's going to grow one day, and it's going to be full of... Now, you can actually go on YouTube or Google and type in money inside trees. You can see people that planted these all over America, right? Some of these trees are like 1,000 years old, hundreds of years old, and you can see literally coins and nickels and dimes inside the tree. Literally, the tree busted the bag open, and as the tree grew, it took the money with it. Literally, a money inside the tree. And who says money don't grow on trees? Right? See how they make us think? Make us think backwards. Yeah, so you could do this with all your plants if you want to, family. There you go, wishing trees. Soursop. Okay, any plant or tree that is good for healing will be great for a money tree. Great for a money tree, family. All right. So I wanted to let you guys know that. Yes, peace to everybody coming in. Peace to everybody coming in. So that is the basic of the money tree. All right. So once again, the way you use the tree, you're going to meditate, imagine the tree, and pray to the tree for things you need. Tell the tree you need more money. Now, your finances should get better and turn around as you do this, right? As the tree grows, your finances grow. Your finances grow, family. All right? This is very important. So that's how you create a money tree, right? And like I said, there's more advanced ways if you know how to use the right tree, right? So, and we can get into some of that in Tree Magic 102, right? We can talk about the tree deities and all that, right? But you guys need to know the basics, right? The basic is start your money tree, and you can create multiple money trees to build your wealth body. Okay. Very important. Now, in tree magic family, some things you guys need to know is that some trees are yin trees, some trees are yang trees, right? Some trees are yin, some trees are yang. What do I mean by that? Some trees are great for pulling in energy and uh, taking in your negative energy. They're great. Some trees are great for that. Those are more yin trees, right? The yin trees tend to have spirits inside of them more than any other tree, right? The yin trees are also the trees, as soon as you come up on it, you start seeing these holes around it. To a degree, almost all trees have them, but the yin trees, you'll see a lot of holes, look like portals around the trees, okay? It's like a vagina on a tree. So you'll see these yin trees with these types of things. Now, sometimes animals create these holes. You can also use the hole on it, whether it's a male or a female tree, you can use these holes for wishing, for doing a lot of things, right? So you have yin trees, which represent the female aspect of the tree. Those are trees that activate very powerfully during full moons, right? During full moons. Like one of my favorite trees, birch. Birch is a yin tree. Okay, birch is a yin tree. One of my favorite trees. We'll get into birch in a second. And then you have oak tree. Oak is my favorite yang tree. Yang is the male tree. Okay, yang is male, right? So when you're dealing with a yin tree, it will affect your subconscious mind, right? So if you're looking for reprogramming, if you're looking to get rid of generational karma, and you're looking to get rid of the traumas you went through in your life, and you want to get healed by a tree, you might want to find a yin tree. All right, we're going to go over some yin and yang trees too. You might want to go to deal with a yin tree. If you're looking for more of a tree that affects you differently, a yang tree will affect your consciousness, so you will notice the effects of a yang tree. You will feel it. You will notice the difference physically, right? So they're great for healing the physical elements of a person. The yin trees are more spiritual trees. That's right. There are trees out there that are very like prime example. When you're dealing with a tree like man, what's this tree called? It's the tea I talk about all the time. Can't remember. But it's a tree I talk about all the time. They call it the queen of all herbs. And it is known as one of the most spiritual, even more than Harataki, which is more of a male tree. Harataki is the king of all herbs. But this other tree, this other plant, you guys know what it is. You guys can let me know. I'm talking about this plant all the time. I put you guys onto it last year, towards the end of last year. I don't know why I want to say Calci Zakachichi. That's not what it is at all. That's not what it is at all. Tulsi, thank you. Thank you, family. Let me tell you something about my crown chakra. Ever since I opened my crown chakra, I'll be having so much information coming to my head. I have to sort through my brain before I figure out what I'm trying to say sometimes. It's literally stuff just be coming in my head all the time. Thank you very much, Tulsi tea. So Tulsi tea, they call it the queen of all herbs. That's right. Tulsi tea is worshipped as a deity. So if y'all want to know one of the deity trees, Tulsi. You can look this up. There are shrines and temples set up just for the plant. So, if you want to create a tree that's great for a money tree, Tulsi wouldn't be bad. If you can create you a Tulsi tree, wouldn't be bad at all. That's a great healing tree. It is the divine tree. Y'all see where I'm going? So Tulsi tree or Tulsi tea, Tulsi plant period, is a divine plant. So is Harataki, but they call it the queen of all herbs, and it is great for healing spiritual issues and fixing your spiritual body. It does physical things too, but it helps you spiritually more, right? Helps you spiritually more. Harataki does one thing spiritually. Tulsi does many things spiritually. Harataki does spiritually, it opens your third eye. And then it has a bunch of physical property, oxygen, and it helps your gut, clean your gut out, your stomach out. That's great for what Harataki does. But Tulsi is very powerful, family, okay? So the something like Tulsi tea, a yin tree or a yin plant will affect you in ways you don't even understand. Only your subconscious mind will pick it up. And a yang tree, like Harataki, you will notice the difference physically because your oxygen levels will go up. You know, you will start purging. It will clean your blood. It has all these physical attributes to it. That's the difference between a yin tree and a yang tree. So what am I really saying here? Yin trees are hard to come by to really understand. So when you're looking to heal yourself spiritually, look for a yin tree. Look for a yin plant. It will heal your spiritual self. A yang tree will have more of a physical effect on you. Okay? But they both will have effects on both sides, but they do one better than the other on each side. So even though Tulsi has physical things, it has the spiritual things outweigh the physical things, and vice versa. All right? So that's the important to understand, family. You have yin trees and you have yang trees. Right? And, you know, it even goes into animals. When you're dealing with animals, you have some animals that are literally for your healing. Like a dog. A dog is a healing animal. That's why they call it man's best friend. It will heal you on a physical level. Like, it will make you feel happy physically. A cat will run around your house. A cat is more of a yin animal. It will run around your house and fix things spiritually. You don't even know what it's doing. A cat will jump on your oar and clean your oar while you're holding it. You don't know what it's doing. It's subconscious. Your subconscious mind picks it up, though. That's a whole nother topic, right? That's animal magic. So you have yin trees and yang trees. So let's talk about some of these trees, family. So the elm tree, I had to write some of these trees down so I don't forget to talk about them. The elm tree, which is one of my favorite trees too, are yin trees, and they're great for stopping slander. So if you have people that are trying to slander you and talk down on you, right? Burning some of the bark of a elm tree, right? And wishing them to stop talking about you is great for a spell, right? Burning that bark. Or writing on the bark itself that you want them to stop. Using some dragon's blood, writing that bark on that bark and say, hey, such and such, stop talking about me. So this tree is one of the, real talk, if you're a witch, then you know elm tree is great for stopping slander when someone's trying to slander you, right? So it works in ways that you don't always see. It's a yin tree. Very powerful, right? A fig tree, right? This will affect you in the physical. It would affect your physical relationship. A fig tree. Fig trees are yang, but fig trees are great for love spells. So if you're trying to do a love spell and fix your physical relationship, now if you have internal healing, dealing with love, that's not what the fig tree is for. The fig tree will fix your relationship. That's right. The fig tree was used by ancients, and they still use to this day by powerful witches. The bark of fig trees is used to write love spells. And what you would do, you will burn it up on the night of a full moon. You will write what you want to happen between you and your mate, and you will burn that up. Fig trees are great for producing, right? Producing fruit, producing evidence. That's why Jesus saw the fig tree and it didn't produce fruit. It pissed him off. And he said, you know what? You ain't never going to bear fruit again. That's what Jesus told the fig tree. Because the fig tree is supposed to produce fruit. That's what it does. That's what it does. So he was pissed off when he was hungry and the fig tree didn't have no fruit. What are you talking about? You never, just for that, you'll never produce fruit again. And the plant died, right? According to the Bible. So they're great for producing results, fig trees. And the best results they produce is love spells. All right? So when you're doing a love spell to increase your love energy, write your love spell on a fig tree with some dragon's blood. You can also use dove's blood for this, right? Dove's blood is great for love spells. But you know, dragon's blood works too, right? And you write what you want to happen. Burn it up in your cauldron on a full moon. Very powerful, family. All right? That is a yang tree, a fig tree. Hearthworm, another one of my favorite plants, right? Hearthworm is a fairy tree. Hearthworm. Hawthorn. It is a fairy tree. I didn't stutter when I said that. Right? It is a fairy tree. And it is one of the three most powerful fairy trees. There's three main fairy trees that you... And what do I mean by fairy tree? These are the tree that you always see fairies in. Right? So oak tree, ash tree, and hearthworm is three trees that you will usually see a fairy inside of. They love the energy of those trees. Right? They love the energy of those trees. Now, when you're dealing with dead people, around your house, right? Or dead people in your neighborhood, there's a lot of murder, which means that there's a lot of ghosts, right? And that's the thing with people dealing with negative energies. You don't always know you're dealing with a ghost sometimes. You're dealing with a dead person that's trying to hunt you. They ain't always a demon. We call everything a demon. Sometimes you're just dealing with an attaching spirit. It's a dead person, right? Well, Hearthworn is really good for blocking those frequencies. For some reason, ghosts, when people pass away, they don't like to go around Hearthworn trees. The vibration literally keeps them away. So in those areas, you will notice more and more that it's not a lot of dead people walking around in those areas. Okay? Very powerful, family. And when you go in deeper into Hearthworn, you'll find out it has, I ain't gonna talk about it, but you will see iron type of stuff in there, things that match it with the element of iron, right? Which also keeps ghosts away. Iron, right? Salt, all that type of stuff. Pyrite. So yes, it is a fairy tree. So what you can do with Hearthworn to pull fairies is you can actually take Hearthworn trees, you can grind them up, and you can have a low level fairy dust, right? And that works great with ash tree too. Or you can mix all three together, which is what you're supposed to do, and you will have a very nice basic fairy dust. Now there's more advanced levels of fairy dust, but this is a very basic fairy dust. You can take Hearthworn, ash tree, and oak tree and grind them up to a powder, mix them all together, and you'll have a very simple dust. You can put stuff inside of letters, burn it up. You can, call fairies to you, all kind of things, right? This is a low-level fairy dust. And when you charge it correctly under the full moon, it can be a magical dust. But usually that Hearthworn is a good tree. It's a fairy tree. And it's good for making fairy wands. But most importantly, family, it blocks ghosts. Okay? That's very important to understand. It blocks ghosts, right? Another one of my favorite tree is the holly tree. Shout out to the sister. I don't remember her name, and I apologize. Shout out to the sister that brought me a holly branch to the actual. Someone asked about cannabis. We're not gonna talk about cannabis on this one because that'll take us on a whole nother level, right? But the sister brought me a holly branch to the actual lecture in the event in Atlanta, and that was so dope. I really appreciate. I still got it too. I really appreciate that. I really appreciate that, family. That was so dope. Brought me an actual holly branch, and I knew it was holly branch as soon as I touched it. You know what I'm saying? I really appreciate that, family. But holly branches are good for it. It's a yang tree, which is more male, so it's a force, right? And it's a forest family, and it's great for making magical wands. Okay, I talked about this many times. The holly tree, Hollywood, the place where magic happens, right? The place where magic happens, family. So that's what you want to do. Get you a holly tree, make you some magical wands. You can make any type of magical wand you want out of a holly tree. Very powerful. It carries a lot of magical energy. It's one of the most magical trees in existence. The holly tree. Very powerful, family. Another good tree. Juniper. Right? Juniper berries, juniper trees, right? The juniper tree is a yang tree. And it is probably the best tree for cleaning your aura. So this is one of the little small branches that I bought online. And you can actually take this branch, you can break off little pieces and put it in a medicine bag. Right? Put it inside your medicine bag. The juniper tree. It's great for cleaning your aura. And when you burn the tree and make it into an incense, right? It is great for blocking hexes and curses. The juniper tree. All right, family? The juniper tree. Really, really good tree for blocking hexes and curses. So I recommend getting some small branches of juniper, right? The twigs, and put them inside your medicine bag. I did a video about this, I think about a week ago. And, I left some things out, but this is something else you can put in there. I don't just do videos for no reason. This is very important to carry a medicine bag every now and then. It depends on what you believe in. Some people call it Grizz bag or whatever, right? But I carry a medicine bag every now and then. That's one of the things I keep in there. I exchange things, right? Because you can't fit everything in your medicine bag, all right? Does moss agate or tree agate have any significance when working with tree magic? Yes, absolutely. It can help you connect deeper to the tree. Trees love those stones. You can bury those stones. They love those stones. But you can connect deeper with the tree through meditation by using those type of stones. It will on the earth element. So if you're trying to connect deeper to the earth element, that stone or crystal will really help you. The moss agate, right? Very powerful, man. Very powerful. Trees definitely have spirits around them. I set around many trees. Yeah. Look, I see spirits around trees every time I go outside. Sometimes they look like balls of white light. I can't really make out what type of spirit it is. And literally, I will see a person just standing there. And usually, when I see people stand next to trees, they're kind of transparent and they look brown. They look like they're dirty or something like that. One time I saw a person dancing around a tree. I don't know what that was about, right? But they stand next to trees. The question is why? Because you can get real power from trees. Shout out to everybody that listened to me when I told y'all to create an Earth Energy battery. Some of y'all probably did that. Some of y'all probably waiting to do it. Earth Energy batteries, very powerful, family. Very powerful. Okay? So, a juniper tree is great for blocking hexes and curses and evil eyes. So keep that on you every now and then. If you got to go to a place where you know you hate it, people don't like you, this is root work we're talking about. Tree magic don't simply mean you go around a tree and turn the tree into a tree house. It's about using the elements to change your reality. That's what magic is. And somebody asked me why I put a K after on my magic. I use it like everybody else uses it for the most part to separate what clown magic is, which is pulling rabbits out of hats. Clown magic and real magic. The separation is the K. A lot of people put the K after the C to separate the idea. So I'm not spelling it wrong on purpose. I use it for that reason, all right? So yes, family, juniper trees are very powerful for that, right? We know oak trees. I've talked about those so many times, but y'all don't understand too. Oak trees are great for healing. Oak tree is a great healing tree as well. Don't forget that. So a lot of times we need to get some negative energy off of you when you're dealing with pain, right? If the tree likes you, if you build a relationship with that oak tree, it will help you. It will help you. Trees are very psychic and they know what's going on with you as soon as you walk up on them. Just like you're reading their energy, they're reading your energy. All right. Love you too, family. Thank you guys for being here, for wanting this information. All right. My son was talking to a tree in front of my house. He said it said hi to him. Yes. Yes. Trees are very powerful and they watch you. They watch you, right? So back in ancient days, family, still to this day, especially when you visit reservations and Native American reservations, the first tree that you see on a reservation or in certain, especially in Africa, they still do this to this day. The first tree you see in the village is the elder tree. So that tree kind of controls all the other trees. So a lot of times what shamans would do when they come in, they honor the tree. They bury stuff next to the tree near the front of the village. Right? That is kind of the tree that kind of is in touch with all the other trees. Right? And that's how trees, they line up. That's what they do. That's how they roll with things. So if you went on the street that you live on, understand that the first trees, sometimes it's two of them, right? You have two trees on both sides of the street over here, and two trees on the. Those are trees that work together, and they're controlling the other trees on the street, right? So whatever you do down the street, you smack your mama in the face down the street, right? Hopefully none of you ain't smacking your mama in the face, right? But the tree think you're a disrespectful person. You may be walking down the thing and a branch drop in your head and knock you in the head. Yeah, trees have been known to fall on people, drop branches and break people's necks. Absolutely. Right? Tree, you walk past certain trees, they shake, they move. Right? Yeah, absolutely, family. Absolutely. So tree, and then children, I'm not surprised. Children tap into trees all the time. Children love nature. One thing about, I ain't never seen a little kid that don't like nature. Right? I'm not saying a person that's scared of bugs and stuff like that. I'm saying kids love to be outside. They love to run through the grass and pick up flowers. Boy or girl, it doesn't matter. That childlike heart, they love nature, right? They love nature. And believe it or not, trees are smarter than us. Just because they don't move like you and don't have the things to do like the trees know exactly what's going on. It's been proven by science. You know, I'm not the type of guy to debate, but sometimes for fun I've done it. And you know, when the vegans is coming after me, I hit them in the head. Boom. Yeah, when you chew up a cucumber, when you chew up a piece of lettuce, it knows you're eating it alive, and it feels pain. Feels pain. So when you chop a tree down with an axe, it feels pain. So what are you supposed to do in these situations? That's what prayer is for. You're requesting the food to forgive you. I have to take your life, brother tree, so my family can have a boat. I have to take your life, brother cow or sister cow, so my family can live. Right? So they would do a whole ceremony and pray to the spirit of the animal before they left the hunt. And a lot of times the animal will be standing there for them. They will ask for forgiveness and ask the spirit of the deer or the buffalo, hey, please understand I have to do this. Or in some cultures, they kill the animal and then they pray and ask for forgiveness. So the food will be good. In all cultures, they kill the animal quick. So it's over with. There's no fear involved. Right? So it's over with. So you pray to the tree. And if you're going to take a branch off, it feels it. You just can't snap a twig off a tree and it feels that pain. Believe it or not. You just don't speak tree, so you don't know if it feels the pain, but it does. So be respectful to trees. They'll protect you. They'll keep away certain negative energies. Right? They'll keep away certain negative energy. So I want you guys to understand that. Right? Same thing with crystals and gemstones and rocks. Everything has a spirit. Has to be respected, family. Birch tree is a yin tree. Right? So we talked about oak. Oak is a yang tree. Great for healing. Birch tree, another one of my favorite trees, is great, family, for protection. Get you some birch, some birch bark, and the frequency of it will keep away all negative energy. That's a fact. You can go on any website, anywhere, they're going to tell you birch is protective. Birch is extremely protective. It's probably the most protective tree, even more than oak. The birch tree is designed, especially a silver birch. Different types of birch trees. A silver birch, in my opinion, is the most powerful birch tree there is. And the bark of a silver birch or any birch tree is extremely protective, family. Okay? You don't have to bow to the tree for respect, but just mean it with your heart. It knows. It can pick up on your frequency. It knows if you're being sincere with it. Yeah, trees will wave at you. That's a fact. Yeah, I've been hearing stories of trees talking and walking and stuff like that. Absolutely. So, this is what's happening, family. Right? So the birch tree is very powerful, very protective. So get you some birch bark, put some in your medicine bag. Now I'm gonna tell y'all something. And I've done this probably one time in my life, and it was very powerful. And I just don't have the ability to always go get birch stuff like that. So I don't always do this. But what you can do for a spiritual bath, you can actually get some hyssop, right? Get some hyssop, and you can get some birch. Literally get some birch wood, just clean it off with some water, make sure all the little dust off and bugs out of it. Clean it off and put some of that in the bathtub. Birch tree. The frequency of that water will become extremely protective, and that water, the frequency of the water will go into your aura. So the hyssop will cleanse the aura, right? Purging with hyssop and I shall be clean, right? The hyssop will cleanse the aura, and then the birch tree will put a solid rock around the aura. So that's a very powerful spiritual bath you can do. And that's a spiritual bath they used to do for years in the ancient days, right? So that's a great way to keep protection around you. Keep some birch wood on you, some birch bark, because they can see spirits and stuff. They don't really see you physically. They see your energy body. So when you're wearing something, the spirit can see through your bag and see the frequency that you got coming through that bag. That's what they can see. So it's very important to do that, okay? Palm trees are good too, yes. They're very good for, They're very good for stress and relieving stress. Um, but yes, so get you some birch wood, family, some birch. I talk about that in my graveyard video as well. They have some of those in the graveyard. Great for protection, great for keeping away evil. Just because you're in the graveyard don't mean it's evil. It's people who passed away. Everybody in there ain't evil. But there are some evil people in graveyards that tend to want to attach to you and do things to you. That's why you can't walk in the graveyard and not have protection. Because everybody in that graveyard is not cool with you. Some people mean you bad. Acorn is very good also to carry your medicine bag. Yeah, it's so many things. I have to interchange things all the time in my medicine bag. Right? It's just, if we call ourselves magicians, we got to practice. It's just a practice. Okay? It's one of the things we do. So get you some twigs of a small birch wood tree to keep away evil, or get you some of the bark, right? It doesn't matter. Either way, they both are very powerful. Now, I'll talk about this all the time too. Pine tree is great for protection. Great for peace, keeping peace, and raising the frequency of peace. If you ever go to around pine tree, you feel a peaceful environment. It's just the truth. It's funny, when me and the bros were traveling last month, we went to Oklahoma last month to look for some land for the teepee organization. We were in Oklahoma, and we got this one piece of land. Well, it was everywhere. There's a lot of pine trees out there. And we wanted this one piece, though, just we were surrounded by pine trees, and just the frequency was so peaceful. It makes you want to harmonize with nature, being around pine trees. One of my favorite trees as well. I love all trees, but there are some evil, negative trees, right? Trees can turn evil. They can be bad sometimes. But I love pine trees. But let me answer some of y'all questions. Who got questions out here? Somebody said that's why kids want to climb trees. Exactly. Maple tree. Okay, let's talk about maple tree real quick. And it's funny because that was the that was the last tree I was going to talk about on here. All right, that was the last tree I was going to talk about on here. All right. So I'm gonna tell you what's so powerful about maple trees. All trees don't show their essence. Okay. All trees don't really show their essence. Maple tree, in my opinion, is one of the top 5 most powerful trees on the planet. I don't care if you talk about a tree from Africa or Indonesia. I don't care. Top 5 maple tree. Don't get it twisted. They got a craze out there on something called maple water. I don't know if you guys ever heard of this. See, it's a lot of things I'm going to talk about on YouTube in the future. And maybe some of you guys have heard about, like when I put out about, I did the video about hydrogen water, the power of hydrogen water. Hydrogen water is very powerful, but you have to mix the hydrogen, with the water to make the water hydrogen water, right? But maple water can come out of a tree naturally, especially once that tree has absorbed all the water. So you get maple is pretty much the blood of the tree, of the maple tree. I don't really call it the blood. Let's call it the essence. So some trees, you have to break them down and boil them to pull their essence out, right? The most healing trees will give you their essence naturally. It'll be easy to pull their essence. Maple water, look up the benefits. You'll be surprised when you look up the benefits of maple water. Maple water is very powerful. It's something I drink. It ain't cheap either. Maple water, in my opinion, it may be even more powerful than coconut water. Another form of natural water that pops up in coconuts. Crack open a coconut and drink the maple water. Drink the coconut water. Right? You can get the maple water right out of the trees if you catch it at the right time. Or what people do is they get the water, the spring water, and mix it with the maple. You get the maple water. Maple water is very powerful. If you're not on that craze, study maple water and see the benefits of maple water. Okay? The benefits of maple water. Very powerful. Okay? Very powerful. So, a lot of times, if you want to do spells, tree spells as well, you can use maple. Right? Maple is very healing. Right? Very healing. So, you're getting the essence of the tree. Right? You're getting the essence of the tree when you do that, family. I'm sorry. Sometimes people won't stop texting me unless I tell them to stop. You know what I mean? And this is some family members. have to let them know I have to let them know I'm on a live right now. I have to let them know. I hope you guys are enjoying this. Yes. Okay. So family, um, yeah. So we're talking about the maple tree, and I'll get into some questions. I see you guys got questions popping up. The maple tree is very powerful, and the maple tree is great for protection as well, and it's great for overall healing. It's a healing tree, one of the top healing trees on the planet. That's a fact. I'm not even gonna go in deep on the maple tree. The maple tree is extremely healing. So if you want to do healing spells, you can actually use the maple syrup to do your healing spells, right? Remember, I told you guys a lot of stuff you need the essence of a tree. You got to break it down, boil it, drink it to get the essence of it out. But here's the maple tree giving you the essence freely. So it's one of the most open, easiest plants to deal with and talk to. It's a very spiritual plant from an astral perspective. It's an astral tree. So you can see a lot of maple trees when you're in the astral plane, pine trees as well. And yeah, very powerful, family. All right, very powerful. So please get into that maple tree. Um, Mugwort is good, but I want to put it in holy moon oil. Let me see here. What tree to use for cosmic wand? You can use an oak tree. You can also use a holly tree. Works good for that. Um, Off topic, but there is a book that teaches how to spell, how to do spells with music. That's a fact. Yeah, purely for a good intent. I have a huge vision for this. I know what you're talking about, family. Um, there are some spells you can do with musical notes. That's a fact. It's kind of funny. They kind of showed that in but not from that perspective in what do you call it, Doctor Strange. Not using it to fight, but yes, you can use it for different things. Tap into different frequencies and everything. I had maple tea for the first time today. Wow, what a coincidence! What a coincidence! That's crazy. I was meditating the other day in my room and I heard the sound of bees buzzing around me. There wasn't any bees present. Is that possibly my energy? It could be the bees are attracted to high vibrational. Sometimes people don't like bees. They think it's because of your perfume or your cologne. That could be attracting a bee. But if you know you don't have any perfume or cologne on and there's always bees around you, that's a sign of a high vibration. Bees are attracted to people and plants that carry a high vibration. If you want to know what plants have high vibrations, follow the bees. And don't get it twisted. You'll see bees around trees as well. That's right. Bees will actually put their nest sometimes inside of trees. It's a reason why. So if you ever see a bee's nest on a tree, that's a good tree. Even though the bees will sting your ass, right? If you piss them off. But bees are high vibrational creatures. That's why right now they're trying to kill all the bees there is. You can barely see a bee today. Barely, right? You barely see bees today. Okay? So bees are high vibrational creatures and they love people with bright auras. They can pick up on your aura. Right? And look what they create. Beautiful honey. Just healing honey. Right? Honey is one of the foods that never spoil. And they're made from insects. Very powerful. They just tip in the tree and get buckets full. Yeah, they just put a tap in the tree, exactly, and they get buckets of their stuff. One of the most giving trees there are. What about wasp? Are they high vibrational? Not really. Not really, family. They're not bad insects, but wasps are not really high vibrational. Um, Wasp nests they're like wasps are more like parasites to a certain extent. They tend to if you notice they like to attach to people's houses more than trees. You can catch them in trees every now and then, but wasps like to attach to your house on the side of your garage, right? Somewhere where you gotta really fight them to get rid of them, right? I was watching your video on fairies and you mentioned the bees. When I came back home from sun gazing, there was a bee. There was one around me. Exactly. And when they do that, you don't have to be afraid of them. Now, if you have a thing where bees sting you, you actually allergic to bees, of course, don't let it be around you, even though they think your vibration is high. But I let bees when they're around me. I just let them come. And I do wear oils and stuff on me sometimes, but bees are always around me, right? And I got stung once by a wasp. And I still got a mark on my hand from being stung by a wasp for no reason at all. I was a little kid, and I just remember having my hand out waiting for somebody to throw me a ball. And I looked down, and I didn't know what it was. It was like a wasp, and it came down on my hand real slow, and it was actually putting the needle inside of me. It stung me. And I remember my whole hand was swollen. It was crazy. Yes. When can you make a mental ancestor altar to connect? My grandpa will think I'm worshiping Satan if I make a will. You can make a mental altar anytime you want, family. You know what I mean? I'm telling you guys, fourth dimensional magic is all about. I'm learning today. I have less and less altars when I do move, and I kind of hate moving because it kind of makes me vulnerable. I have to take down my defenses, and I don't like that. But I'm taking down a lot of my altars right now, and I already took down my ancestor altar, and you know, I'm doing it all in my body because my ancestors live inside it, right? So you can literally burn the ancestor money and just say, "This is for my ancestors." You don't have to do it on the altar. You can burn it and say, "This is for my ancestors." No, 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 no. Anywhere. All right. But I already talked about how to create a mental altar. Because the altar, your mind is the altar where magic happens. So just burn some hell notes when your family ain't around and that's why I'm gonna tell you guys, if you're gonna do magic, it's hard to talk to younger people who practice magic because some of you guys live with your parents, and some of your parents don't want the magic in their house. So it's gonna be hard to, I don't know how to tell you any other way around it. It's only one way I can tell you to do it. Create an altar. I can't teach you how to hide the altar, none of that. It is what it is. You know what I mean? Either you can create one or you can't. Do you know anything about King Fu? I have taken a class. I know about that. And yes, I know that there's that's one of the things that Master Gibson teaches, King Fu. Yes. But that's not something that I came up with that I started teaching. So I try not to talk about stuff that Master Gibson gave away unless it was free. If it was free information that he gave away, I got stuff from his YouTube from when he was on Facebook years ago. Years and years ago when he used to be on Facebook, I got, some of his spells and stuff that he gave to the people for free. So I'll always share that type of stuff, right? One time he gave away a whole bunch of sun spells that I have for free. But anything that he teaches, he charges money for, I try not to talk about that stuff. So I've learned so much dragon magic from him, but I never talk about his type of dragon magic in my stuff because it's disrespectful. You should go to him and pay him for that information. So I kind of don't want to talk about King Fu too much because that's kind of like his thing. You know what I'm saying? And my job as a student is to create a new way. All right, and I gave away a big secret of that in a lecture in Atlanta about solar gazing, solar magic. I kind of presented something new. It's not really new, but something that people don't really know about, and it was really dope. It was really dope. Once you reach a certain level on high consciousness, is it possible to regress back to a lower consciousness? So if so, how? No, it's not possible. That's the great thing about consciousness. Once you learn and you can't unknow it. So if you know how to open your chakras, how can you really unknow that? You know what I'm saying? I don't care how many years pass by, you can't unknow it. My friend John was a great example of that because he stopped practicing magic for many years until he met me. And all this stuff started coming out of him, stuff he remembered, stuff that was inside of him. He just chose not to remember at that point, but it was still inside of him. So the great thing about evolution is that when you evolve, you can't go backwards. You could stop and become stagnant, which could do damage to you, absolutely. Stagnation could do damage to you, but you can't go backwards. That's the great thing about spirituality. You can only become stagnant. So when you're stagnant, you feel like you're going backwards. That just means you got to keep moving. Can we do tree magic in the metaverse? Future tech magic? Yes. That's a great question, family. I did a video like 2 years ago called Technology of the Future. I did one called Biotechnology of the Future, and I did one called Tech Magic is the future magic, pretty much. And that's when I started to prove you to you guys I know what I was talking about. I started to create money spells, digital money spells, and digital magic. I didn't see a lot of people doing that, so I created digital magic, and I didn't create the actual form of digital magic, but I created my own version to let people know I knew what I was talking about. Right? I knew how to put a spell inside of a piece of paper by using sacred geometry. I knew what I was doing. And yes, that is the magic of the future. But before you get there, you got to get this right first. Before you start dealing with something that's not even real, like the metaverse, which is a bootleg version of the astral plane, you have to learn how to use your mind first. All right, so we got to be clear on that. All right. In terms of connecting with elementals, I believe I am connected to gnomes or dragons. Any tips on with any tips on connect with these groups? I want to create a fairy altar. Would that be a good place to start? Yes, a fairy altar, but you can create gnome altars. I had a gnome altar in my backyard. I had to take it down because it was people was watching me. It was weird, like I had some people watching me, and the way that my stump was set up in the back, it just kind of got weird to go back there. I had too many neighbors. Like in New York, you got your neighbors right next to you. There's no fences. Like our fences in New York are like metal with the see-through holes in it. So you can have like my property is fenced in, but at the same time you can see right through the fence. Doesn't matter how high the fence is. You can see right through it. So I don't have like in the South. Y'all got the wood. That's one thing I do love about the South. Y'all got the wooden fences. Where you can actually have some privacy, but not up here. That's why I gotta get out of here, y'all. So yes, you can start with a fairy altar. You can do gnome altars. I did a video not so long ago on fairy magic and you can use that apply that to all the elementals to a certain extent and give you guys some. My bro um uh uh Makai Kondo actually just did a video today how to connect with a fire elemental. And I thought it was a really good meditation he gave and talking to him and stuff like that. So very powerful. So yeah, you can do that. And I'm not really answering that question at deep family because I actually have videos on that. So if you go through it, you'll see some videos on elementals, gnomes, stuff like that. I even did a negative one about red caps. That came out of nowhere. I talked about the red caps. People don't even know who that is, right? But I talked about that, family. Have you ever learned anything from Brother Panic? Absolutely. 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 But I was a Bobby Hemmett guy and a Delbert Blair. I was more Delbert Blair than anything. And everybody has their teacher that they vibe with. For me, it was Bobby Hemmett, Delbert Blair, and then Dr. Phil Valentine. Then there was a few other people, right? So Dr. Phil Valentine, Dr. Blair, and Bobby was like my top three. And then I started noticing as I grew, they would say a lot of things I already understood. So that's when I started kind of going within to find more answers and going on the astral plane. Because I knew that my teachers can only teach me so far. Now it's time to go inside and go into the innerverse or the astral plane and learn from the astral, right? Applying what I learned, right? It was time for that. I used to spell it raw all the time. Okay. What are your thoughts to making new internal formulas? What are your thought process to making new internal formulas? Yes, a lot of internal formulas. I gave out, I think, 2 already. So, I don't understand what that question means. What is my thought process to making new internal formulas? I think they're good though. If you know what you're doing, they're good. How did you learn how to make the sun blink? Master Gibson talks about sun blinking. Yes. I'm not sure if if you're new here or not, family. Uh, but I've exposed that I am a student of Master Gibson a long time ago. I think a couple months ago. And yes, he's the first one to teach me the science of making that blink, but of making a sun blink. But Master Gibson's a busy man. He's a busy man, and he doesn't have time to probably teach everybody that science. So as a student of his, I teach people as well. Hey, you guys can do this. It took me a year to do it. Little did I know that I had a hard time finding joy. I consider myself a pretty happy guy, but I had a hard time finding joy. I didn't know that. I didn't know that, family. And when I found joy, that's when it happened. I'll never forget when it happened. The first time it happened, it was like slow blinks. Then it would stop, and then it was, but eventually I noticed that it would blink longer. I would get it to blink longer. And the goal is to get it to do it for 1 minute. Once you can get it to do it for 1 minute, um, then you'll be able to actually ascend. You won't be fit to be human here on this planet anymore. You'll be able to go to the next level when you die, because you just communicate with a fifth dimensional consciousness. All right, very powerful. And I know it's a lot of other people out there that are talking about the sun blinking, but Master Gibson is the original. Don't get it twisted. That's a fact. He's not even known like that. A lot of people don't even know him like that. I just got all the free information from Master. Okay, that's what's up. I bet you did, family. It was good meeting you too, family. You are a very powerful individual. For all those that are nearly there and those that already popped their third eye. I'm not sure what you mean by that, brother. Eye opened. After planting my money tree, could I make a money wand from it? Yes, but what would you do with the money wand? That's what I would like to know. Like, what would be the goal of a money wand? All right, you can do it. Can you make a video on the Lyrians? Yes, that's one of the groups I got to talk about more. But I did talk about them, I think. I think I did do a video on them. So some of you guys are $65 Patreon members. I'm still uploading videos from a year and a half ago. A year ago when I started my Patreon. I was doing like 2 or 3 videos a week when I first started. Almost every day. I have a lot of videos to still give you guys. So a lot of you guys don't have a lot of my old videos. If you're a $65 Patreon member, right? VIP member. But if you're a basic member, it has all my videos. All of them. Okay, so maybe next month you might want to take a month off and become a $20 member and, go through the videos and try them out. It's a lot of information there, family. I just started listening to Bobby Hemmett. Dope speaker, yes. It took me 3 months to get my son to blink for 1 minute. I was so happy. Yes, congratulations, family. Someone said, yes, they learned from Master Gibson in 2017. Yes. So, yes, very powerful. I've been with Master Gibson so long. I remember the first girl that did it. Cannot remember her name, but I remember I was at a lecture in 2014 called The Symbols of Power. That's how long I've been around with Master Gibson. I actually first found out about him in 2012. But 2014, I went to a lecture called Symbols of Power. Me and my wife were both initiated. Me and my wife were initiated into the Symbols of Power. At that lecture, Master Gibson read my mind, literally. And also, he initiated, everyone there was initiated. It was 400 people there. We was all initiated into the Symbols of Power. And also, he prayed a blessing over my daughter's life. Right? And my wife was pregnant at the time. I'll never forget that. And in that lecture, the girl stood up. I can't not remember her name. Her name started with a W. Wachana or something like that. She stood up and said, hey, sometime when I look at the sun, it blinks at me. And he was very excited to answer that question. He's like, why does that happen? And he told her that she was the goddess Isis. Right? So I learned about spiritual parents at that moment. I learned about all this stuff. And I learned that everybody had the ability to make the sun blink. So after that lecture, everybody's went crazy with making the sun blink. You know what I mean? So yeah, I remember that. I was there, baby. I didn't get a chance to go to all his lectures, and I know he has a live lecture coming back up. From what I'm hearing, Master Gibson knows of me. He watches my videos. He said he enjoys my videos. I'm grateful and humbled to hear that. But I've only met him 3 times, and he has thousands of students all over the planet. So I don't know if he remembers exactly me. You know what I'm saying? But shout out to him. He's definitely changed my life in a lot of ways. Him and a few other teachers I'll reveal in the future. I'll reveal them in the future. I prayed to my spiritual parents for the first time the other night, and they started to hear phantom baby cry. What does that mean? I'm not sure what that means, family, if you hear baby cries. I'm not sure what that means, family. That's different. Will saying the 42 letter name of God while sun gazing help make the sun blink? Yes, it will help, family, but it's really about connecting with the sun. It's not about making the sun blink. I got to change that statement. You're making it blink because your frequency lines up with it. In order to live in the fifth dimension, you got to have joy. You got to be on a high vibration. So gratitude is a seed of joy. So this is why I tell you guys to have gratitude. Eventually, you will find joy. Be joyful. So the 42 letter name of God is the Anabacoic, the Anabacoic prayer. So that will, yes, I say it sometimes, but when you connect with the sun, you don't have to say anything. You can just think about it blinking in your head, and it'll start blinking. You can even think about it not blinking, it'll stop. All right. So it's about connecting your heart with it. It's about connecting with joy. So sometimes when I first look at the sun, it may take me like 2 minutes to connect with it. So just looking at it, don't make it blink for me. I have to literally calm down and connect with it on a vibrational level. Once I do that, it starts to blink. It's crazy, right? Some guy on TikTok said he's a time traveler and extraterrestrials are supposed to show up July 11th. I don't know about July 11th, but I know they're going to show up soon. I don't know the date, but they will show up. They will show up. And time travelers are very real. Do you own any of Master Gibson's medallions? Okay, spiritual plug, you must be new. You must be new, family. I got a bunch of them. All right? I got a bunch of them, family. I got a lot of his books. Once again, you must be a $65 member. And I did a video called Some Things About Me. And in that video, I talked about a lot of things. And one of the things I talked about, I exposed that Master Gibson was one of my teachers. And I showed all the medallions I have his. And I showed them because it was time for you guys to learn how to fight darkness on a deeper level. Because we are living a very dark time this year. All right? Someone said they think the girl's name was Wachana. Yes. I think that was her name. Nessa Nana. I can't say your name, family. But apparently you've been around for a minute too. Shout out to you. Having issues becoming lucid in dreams and holding information after waking up. I bought crystals and I have Harataki and I write them down. Any suggestions? Yes, be patient. Sometimes you got to grow your spirit body. It don't happen because you just take that stuff. It happens slowly. Right? In the meantime, do spiritual work, sun gaze, stuff like that, and you will see your consciousness will start to change. It's about growing your consciousness. Bobby Hemmett, Dr. Blair, Dr. Kaba brought me here. And thanks to Master Gibson. Ashe, family. You must be in a state of joy. I was outside in the park and I found when my first blinked, do something you enjoy brings you absolute joy. Absolutely. And you know the powerful thing with finding joy? I had to find an easy way. Because I've had people make the sun blink through gratitude. But if you can even find a little bit of joy, it starts to boil up in you, right? So gratitude can bring that. If you're thinking for your children, like it took me thinking about my daughter being born, how much she changed my life, that gave me joy. I couldn't find nothing else in my life, y'all. I literally couldn't find nothing else in my life. I'm pretty sure there was something there. I just didn't think about it. So my daughter allowed me to help the sun blink. Like my child give me joy. That's what worked for me. So it was hard to find joy before that, family. What does joy feel like to you? That's a good question. When I feel gratitude, I feel a warm, happy feeling in my stomach. Yes, that's because it's bubbling up. Gratitude is the seed of joy. It is the beginning of joy, right? Because when you feel joyful, you be so thankful that you have this thing or you can feel this way. So joy, it's hard to explain. It's like when you know you got something in your life that's a blessing, right? Like a child. Or maybe you're getting married, right? And you're so happy that you found the one you love. Joy comes around you. So some emotions, like you could say, Brother Yosef, describe compassion. That's hard. If I'm not doing something for somebody else, it's hard to describe passion. I can only describe passion from showing it to somebody, right? I can't really describe how it feels. Maybe I get a feeling when it happens, but you show compassion. You don't keep it to yourself. So a lot of these is like describe love. You can't. You could probably describe compassion. You could probably describe joy, but you cannot describe love. It's too much of a high vibration. It is the unknowable, but you feel it. You just kind of know when you win it one day, but you didn't choose to be in love. That's the powerful thing about love. You can choose to feel joy. You can choose to be grateful, but you cannot choose to love. If you do, it's not real love. Because there's two types of love. There's false love, which I call earth love, and you have true love, which is cosmic. And like I always say, some people don't feel true love until they have their first child. They don't really know what love is until they have their first child. Or they think about their parents, and vice versa. Because everybody, to a degree, loves at least one of their parents. Right? Your mama, your daddy, you love somebody. But when you have a child, that also brings joy. So you can understand what joy is. You can understand that you know you love somebody, but to describe what love is, or to choose to love your parents, you can't. You can't. You can't choose to love I can't remember the day I loved my daughter. I just loved her. You know, you don't know when you fall in love with somebody. So it's not something you choose. Love chooses that for you. That's a powerful thing of love. You can't control it. So the one that can't control it is God. We call it an alchemist. The true alchemist can control love. That's why it's such a deep secret art. So a true alchemist is dangerous because that love can allow you to change your reality, transform your frequency. Right? Someone said, are you books, any new books you're reading right now? Oh yeah, there's always some new books. I'm not ready to reveal those right now. Plus a lot of my books are packed away right now. Good God. That's the most thing. I think I'm buying a big pod. And I think that my pod, half of it is going to be books. Books. I don't want to buy no. Every time I say I'm not buying no more books, I buy one. So I don't know. So it's crazy, fam. It's crazy. So a lot of my books are packed away. I got a few over here and another bookshelf, and that's it. I pack them all away. I'm reading a lot of books right now on indigenous information, shamanism, stuff like that. That's where I'm being led to. I'm also talking to shamans in the astral plane right now, learning things, understanding things. What do you think about eating one meal a day? I know, Elijah, I think that's incredible. Eat how to eat to live. I think that's a great way to live. I think it's good. And if you could not eat at all and live off the sun, that's even better. Can someone around you that promotes doubt in this way of life help you stay away from tapping into joy? Yes, doubt can definitely help you stay away from joy. Doubt is very dangerous. That's a negative emotion. So yeah, anybody that promotes doubt, stay away from them. What does it mean when you look into someone's eyes and you start to get a headache? That's a very good point, friend. That means that this person is naturally psychic. What's the girl name? The sister on here that was talking about Mitchell Gibson. The one I met at the lecture. What's your name, sis? Micah Leah? Andrea? Yes, you. I tried to read her. I was reading everybody at the lecture, pretending like I didn't see things and stuff like that. But because I know if I did that, it would just started a reading frenzy, right? But I tried to read her and I got a headache immediately. Like when I was trying to read her energy, because she's naturally psychic. So a person that's very psychic, they have a hard time reading me because you might get a headache because I have a natural psychic block when someone's trying to read me. And some people naturally have this. I've even tried to read little children and I've gotten like a headache. That's like that means you ran into a wall. You ran into a wall. That's what that means. You're trying to read this person's energy to figure out who they are, what type of heart they have, what type of person they really are, and you get blocked. Right? So some people, whether they're good or bad, they can have this powerful psychic ability that can block you from reading them. So that's what that means, fam, when you get a headache, when you look someone in the eyes. You know what I mean? How can you block someone's psychic connection to you? They aren't trying to hurt you, or sometimes you can wear amulets. The Helm of All is very good for blocking someone trying to make a psychic connection to you. Okay? How can we bring back the indigenous culture to the world? It got to start with us building our tribes again. The tribes got to start. Yep. Tribes got to start. Once you start building the tribes and start the family, getting the families back together, they will respect the indigenous culture again. It will come back. That's part of the future. That's what has to happen. All right. Yes, Michaela. I think that's her name. Yep. I got you, family. Yeah, it was very hard to read you to a degree, even though you exposed some things about yourself as far as what type of person you were spiritually. And that was very powerful. But at the same time, yeah, I had a hard time reading her because I was getting like a pressure in my head, and I knew what that was to me. I say, oh, she's naturally very psychic, whether she knows it or not. All right. So yes, what's a real good crystal tree to have? A crystal tree? I'm not sure what that means, family. A crystal tree. What do you mean by that? What's a real good crystal tree to have? I'm not sure if you mean what's a good tree to bury by a crystal. Um, you know what, family? I'm gonna tell you guys something. I was cleaning off one of my bookshelves today, and I noticed I had something on top of one of my bookshelves that I forgot I put up there. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna share this with you guys. This is a magical spell you can do for your house. So you can get a quartz crystal cluster, right, which is a bunch of pointed quartz crystals. Clean it, put it in the sunlight for like 24 hours. Clean it, put it in salt water, clean it real good, right? Hit it with the laser, all that. Then you want to get you like a silk. On this one, I had a purple. I had a purple, which is protective. Purple is protective. Purple also high vibration. You can actually take the crystal and sit on top of a silk cloth, and the crystal will radiate the energy, the vibratory energy of that all through the house. And from what I understand, it's a 50-foot radius. So within a 50 feet radius, it will generate this energy. I had it up there for so long. I had it up there since I moved here. In this house, I bought this house 5 years ago, and I was radiating it ever since then. And I forgot. That's how you magic supposed to be. You supposed to have so much stuff around the house. You forgot you put things up. I actually have a bunch of organite pails outside, which you call cloud busters. Small ones, big ones, and I used to hide them behind my bushes and stuff like that. And I had a bunch of cloud busters that I had put away. I got to take them all out now. People gonna be thinking, what is this guy into? So I have to take all that stuff down. But yeah, family, that's why I was saying I hate taking down my defenses. Right? I hate taking down my defenses. That's something I had up there to raise the frequency of my house that I forgot I had up there. Right? How can you block someone's psychic connection to you? They're all just in my business. Oh, I think I'll answer that question. Um, so wearing a helm of all helps. Also, um, 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 to block someone's psychic connection, I'm trying to understand how to answer the question because there's so many different ways to do it. The helm of all blocks it without a shadow of a doubt. It'll put a frequency around you that make it hard for a person to read you. It just will. It's great for psychic protection. Um, Also, building up your own psychic defenses as far as making your mind strong, practicing mindfulness, learning how to not let things attack you mentally. Like I always tell you guys, the most powerful form of when you're getting hexed and cursed, it's going to happen in your mind first. Like if Brother Joseph is going to hex somebody, I'm going to attack you mentally first. I want to put a psychic attack on you first. That's what it is. You do a psychic attack first, and then you hit them because that opens them up. So having your mind, I've been psychically attacked in so many ways. I had groups of people psychically attacking me. Real talk. Right? Real talk. But my mind is so strong, I understand what I'm dealing with. And I don't let it affect me. And a lot of times that they're doing that to open you up so you can be attacked. You just don't let it affect you. And sometimes it just appear things around you are going bad, but you can't tie that to somebody's attacking, even though it may be happening. You tie it to I'm so grateful that nobody's attacking me. You switch up the energy. You switch up your mind and get your mind to think positive again. Because as soon as you give into that negative thought, negative energy, the whole energy flips. Gotcha. That's how they do it. That's how they do it, family. My favorite Wu-Tang song. That's funny. I'm gonna keep it real. I'm a Raekwon. I love Raekwon, but I like ODB too. You know what I'm saying? Did y'all see that episode of The Man Who Fell from Earth? I'm sorry, I gotta say this, y'all. And the man, he was trying to tap into a higher consciousness because he was trying to figure something out that he couldn't figure out. And what he did was he took a few shots of liquor and he put on, "Ooh baby, I like it raw. Ooh baby, I like it raw." This is an alien. And from him listening to Old Dirty Bastard, he was able to come up with the idea of what he needed to do. It was very powerful. Very powerful, family. I can't say what my favorite Wu-Tang song is. It's hard, man. I'm a big Wu-Tang fan. I love so many Wu-Tang songs. I can't say. You know what I mean? Even when it comes to Raekwon, what's your favorite Raekwon? I can't say. It's too, you know what I mean? I can't say, family. Nobody's ever asked me that before. I was trying to think, what's my favorite hip-hop song? I don't know. I got so many favorites. It's hard to say. Hard to say, family. What about when you look at someone's eyes and you get a warm, fuzzy feeling in your chest? You're picking, I mean, that person has good energy. You're picking up on their energy. I looked at my hands in my dream and they were distorted. I've only been able to look at them once, but does it mean anything? Yes, it means that you have to build your energy somewhere, family. If you look at your hands in your dream and you didn't see light and they were distorted, I'm not sure if you saw light or not, but they're distorted, that means you letting too much negative energy attack you. All right? Can herbal baths block psychic connection? Absolutely. Sometimes the psychic connection that you have is they're putting a thought form on you, right? That's really what we mean by psychic attack. Someone's putting a thought form on you, and they're making you feed that thought form. So by way of spiritual bath, you can block that thought form. Even when I talk about all the time, sea salt, lemon zest, and ginger root. Chop up ginger root, put in the bath. That simple one I've talked about so many times will even block that. All right. A while back, you talked about updating your status and nationality video, but took it down from YouTube. Any way I could use it to Patreon, please? Yeah, I gave away way too much information on there. That's one of the reasons why I took it down. I gave away too much game for free. My boys called me, man, what are you doing, bro? You giving up? And you know, I had a lot of Moors start attacking me, which I don't really care about. A lot of Moors are like, oh, that's not the way you do it, you know. But Brother Yosef really lived this. I don't have to do it the Moorish way. And shout out to the Moors. A lot of good Moors I know. I have Moors in my organization, right? Shout out to the Moors. I got no problem with the Moors. But a lot of the dirty Moors started attacking me. So to get rid of all the negative energy and all the stuff I was getting away for free, and I think that's why they got upset. I was giving so much game away for free. I just took it down. And I said, maybe this ain't a good time for this. And it sure wasn't, because I was building my organization. So I'll never put that video up again, family. I just won't. I was showing ID cards and I was giving all this stuff away. And that's just my nature, to help people, right? But I've learned over time, you don't know who you helping on YouTube. You just don't. Some people don't like you. You giving them the game for free. They don't even like you. And they don't deserve that type of information. Right? Can I put a sword on my God altar? Absolutely, if that's what the God wants. Absolutely, family. What does it mean when you listen to the sound of the sun and the top of your head gets hot? The sun could be connecting with you. I talked about the frequency of gold. There's another way to raise your frequency. You just reminded me of that when you said the sun frequency. You can listen to the frequency of gold, family, and it will actually heal your body. Literally, the frequency of gold. It will heal your body. On shrooms, I felt like I could transfer my consciousness back into the original body. But it's possible to do that. But is it possible to do that, though? Yeah, you can do anything. You can do anything, family. It's about knowing how to do it. You know, and that's what shrooms will do. They'll take you back to your original self, making you think you could do these things. Shrooms should be used to heal yourself, heal your soul. If you got soul damage and stuff like that. I don't think it should be used to recreational use. I'm not saying that's what you're doing, but I know a lot of people take the shrooms to have a spiritual experience. You don't need to do that. The goal is to do it without shrooms. Because what you're going to do if all the shrooms disappear on the earth? How you going to have a spiritual experience then? Something to think about. Right? There's a difference between being a mystic versus being a witch. Absolutely. Absolutely. A mystic is more of a person that is deals with the internals. They're always searching for the internal way. That's really what a mystic is. So a mystic, the mystic path and a mystic is a person who deals more with finding God inside themselves and using their body as a tool, magical tool, and going within, right? And a witch is a person that uses herbs and things outside of their body to make things happen. They're both magicians, but one uses external, they use external tools and wit and wands and stuff. The mystics don't use all that. They use their body. They do inner work. All right. What specific entity, in your opinion, is the most powerful in the universe? One of the most powerful entities in the universe is my spiritual father, Lord Indra. I gotta shout him out, right? But also, Lord Ganesha commands a very powerful everything, like the gatekeeper, got access to everything in the universe. Also, the Jade Emperor is very powerful, very very powerful. Man, see, that's another question hard to ask. I can't name the most powerful god. I haven't been around all of them that long to know. You know what I mean? Uh, but if you have to name the most powerful entity in the universe, it will be the Creator, the one above all, the unperceivable one that's always there that we just don't perceive him all the time. Yes, ODB was woke. That's a fact. I was watching Vampire Diaries and the hunter had a tattoo of the Helm of All on his hand. Powerful, powerful. First time I saw it on TV. I saw it the first time on TV in one of my favorite shows. I don't know why I want to say Stranger Things. Well, shout out to Stranger Things. That's a good show. Supernatural. Live in Los Angeles. Can you give me advice on how to survive Master Gibson's predictions? Earthquakes. You have to come to it's just it's just thinking about it, family, using your natural common sense and just thinking like, okay, if he said it's gonna be an earthquake over here, I shouldn't be here. You know what I'm saying? If you can't leave, then you have to look up everything you can about how to survive an earthquake, right? How to survive a breakout that's going to make people look like zombies, whatever it is. You have to look up, because some people can't move, they can't do things. I'm leaving because I'm positioning myself for my future. I have to get out of New York State. I have to position myself for the future. So that's what I'm doing, family. If you can't leave Los Angeles and you feel like there's going to be an earthquake there this year, then you have to do everything you can to protect yourself and your family in case an earthquake happens. You know what I mean? Try not to travel too far away from home, stuff like that. You know what I mean? So a lot of things are easy to figure out. Just use your natural common sense and just protect yourself to the best of your ability, family. All right, because I don't know the exact date or moment, right? Is there any significance of nicknames? My grandma gave me the nickname Shoe in blue. Yeah. There's definitely some powers of nickname. It's like a power name to a degree. It's like a power name, family. In some instances, it could be a spiritual name. But Shu is definitely a deity of the wind. So that's very powerful. But yeah, it could be a power name. I saw Ghostface Killer in my city in the UK privately. Okay, that's what's up. Make sense. I consider myself a mystic. Yes. I know you're busy, brother, but I appreciate you and the time and energy into shedding light. Absolutely, family. So I'm grateful because I'm about to get off here in a second, family. Thank you guys, and I'm trying to be on here as much as I can because I'm doing so much. And then in the middle of the night, I'll be done. You understand? Gotta give my daughter her time. My wife gotta get her time, and then Brother Yosef be done, right? But I told my wife, I said, no matter what, I gotta give people this information on tree magic 101 and talk about it so they can have some notes to understand how to use certain things with tree magic. And also the money tree. Hope you guys enjoyed that. And create your money trees and stuff like that. So I'm gonna try to get on here as much as I can. And the information on my Patreon will only get more advanced. I'm sorry. I'm just one of the people. I'm just not gonna give you everything at one time. I like to surprise people. How like I did with Master Gibson. Some people are so surprised and happy that I put his information out. I got other teachers, right? I got other information I could put out. I gave away some secret information I haven't put out on my Patreon. I gave away at the lecture. And the only reason I want to give that out too deep, I might give one of the things out in the future, but because brother Dreamwise is going to be putting that video out soon for people to purchase. And I know he and his wife, and they paid a lot of money and did a lot of things to make this stuff happen. So I'm not going to give away that information for free on here, right? But I get, man, listen, shout out to everybody that came. You know what I'm saying? So yes, but some of that stuff I kind of talked about vaguely, right? And even in my last video, I gave you guys information on the meteorites, right? Don't sleep on that, man. And that's one of the reasons why I don't give everybody deep information, because y'all can't use it all right now. You just can't use it all. So I like to give things out piece by piece, little by little. And right when you think Brother Yosef ain't gonna give out nothing deep, boom, here I come with something else. All right. So yes, family. You know what I mean? Shout out to everybody. I want to bring my cousin on here for y'all. I've been talking to my cousin, y'all. I want to bring my cousin on here. He's a financial advisor. He's also a insurance person. So if you guys live in Tennessee, he actually does life insurance in Tennessee. And he come in here and talk about the whole life insurance and the index fund, index life insurance, and he does give you guys some financial advice. He's a real estate owner. He owns real estate. He makes incredible. He's a very wealthy individual. And me and him been talking lately. He wants to come. I told him I'm gonna bring him on here so you guys can ask some questions. And if you guys live in Tennessee, he might can hook y'all up with a you know what I mean, with a insurance policy. All right. Yes. So thank you guys for being here. All right. I'm only doing consultations right now for my Patreon members. And that's gonna be for the $65 Patreon members. But even the Patreon members, I recommend every now and then you guys go back to the $20 section. Doesn't bother Brother Yosef. Every now and then, just to catch some of the old videos. So this next month, you can go to the $20 section for the month and catch all the old videos. Then come back to the $65 one if you want. You can go back and forth. It don't make a difference, right? I do this for entertainment and for, I can't tell y'all that I know what I'm talking about, because people try to listen. Y'all won't believe the stuff that people try to do to me. I literally have people have mental issues try to attack Brother Yosef. You know what I'm saying? And y'all wouldn't believe me if I told y'all. So I gotta be careful what I say, how I do it. But I'm gonna give it out regardless. Especially when it comes to legal stuff. I gotta be careful what I say legally, because people try to say things. That's why I always say I do this for entertainment purposes only when I talk about legal stuff. Because legally, I try to say things to help people, and people are trying to attack that and say, "Oh, you're not a lawyer. Are you claiming to be a lawyer?" No, I'm not claiming to be none of that. Even with my health stuff, YouTube took down 2 of my videos, y'all, and it was 2 good videos too, and all because I'm telling people how to heal themselves. So eventually, Brother Yosef gonna have his own network. That's the goal, and I'm gonna get away from YouTube. You know what I mean? And I'll probably be on Patreon, but all my stuff on Patreon, because I just started my YouTube channel. I mean, my newlifetools.com. The website is back up, family. So maybe on the website, I'll start doing like all my subscriptions over there and start building on my website. We'll see. We'll see how things go. All right. But Brother Yosef, I love y'all. Appreciate you guys. Thank you guys for your patience with me. And I will holler at you guys in the next video. All right. Peace, family. Peace, peace, peace.